Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Say It Out Loud. This week, FRITZ SAM joins the conversation. Fritz is a bit of a hero. He literally saved people from a burning building while he was on his way to the airport. We have an awesome conversation where we talk about what compels people to do this kind of stuff and what compels others not to. It's an inspiring episode. I hope you enjoy. Cheers.
Yeah.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. FRITZ SAM.
Yeah.
Is that your real first and last name?
Believe it or not, it's Fritz Gerald. And what's crazy
what?
is that my parents from Haiti. So one of four, two girls and one boy. 2 girls, 2 boys. So it's my oldest sister by a year, Alva. I call her Woodsy. Me. My younger sister, Marley, who I call Baby Oprah. Not because she looks anything like Oprah, but just that if you get off by the time you get off the phone with Marley, if you're feeling down, she's going to say something that's going to be like, man, that was good.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, she, I got 2 wonderful sisters and my brother, my little brother, 6 years young, Pascal, good dude, family guy, and being the youngest not easy.
It's not.
I'm
the youngest too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of expectations and stuff like that falls on the youngest. But he's out there just doing his thing, and
Cool.
you have a family in New York City. Oh, I gotta pray for you, brother. Gotta pray for me too.
Right.
But yeah, I'm proud of him. Proud of my family. I'm lucky enough to be a part of a small tribe that we do our best to look out for each other. But the thing is, even when you are intentionally trying to look out for somebody, you still might not get it right, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
I
I love that. I mean, thanks for being here, by the way.
No, pleasure. Thanks for
I
inviting me.
love this. Absolutely. Welcome to the couch.
Yeah, the couch is good.
Couch convos.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice.
Get
It's
cozy. I'm kind of organizing this season around being brave, right? In whatever
Yeah,
ways
that's
we
cool.
can.
That's dope.
And so, my neighbor, I think she might have been in your Uber one time.
Oh,
Because you're an Uber driver.
yes.
And she was like, oh my gosh, you got to have Fritz on this. Like
Okay.
you're so.
So that's what's up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I guess we'll start. I want to talk about all the things,
Okay.
but I like to ask, what's the last kind of brave thing you feel like you've done for yourself or others or anything?
It might sound goofy, but actually coming on the show. Yeah. And it's not exciting to be on a podcast.
Right.
What I realize is that we live at a time where you have to choose sides.
Ooh.
There's no more fence sitting on a lot of issues. And so it's kind of like, okay, I'm just a dude, I'm just a guy who tries to pay attention, who has, I have opinion on things, and sometimes I get it right. Sometimes I show my ignorance, so yeah, sometimes you worry about what you're going to say,
Yes.
but I was trying not to think about that. And I said, you know what? At the end of the day, all you can do, my brother-in-law hates it when we have like family events. He's like, Fritz, Serge is awesome dude. So Fritz, write it down. No more on the fly. And I'm like, Serge, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but just that I just like to just, speak from the heart. And yeah, it's a risk doing that. But, at the end of the day, as long as you're being yourself, I think, you can't go wrong with that. So.
Thank you for saying that. That is so amazing. And I feel the same way. I would say the last thing I did is do this too, honestly.
Right,
and I was
right.
like, let me research, let me read everything, and I have my notes. But then I never look at this because I just like to, the things I say if I'm feeling nervous or something is just be in this room,
Right.
like say what's truthful, whether it's ignorant or not.
Right.
I think that to your point of picking a side, I also think that we are so afraid of getting something wrong
Sure.
in the learning or in the process of whatever the heck we're trying to do.
It's judgment. We're trying
Yeah,
to
exactly.
we're trying to avoid judgment. But the reality is we judge all the time.
Yeah.
When are we not judging?
Yeah.
We're always judging, always assessing, So it's judgment we're afraid of. But, all I can say is like, I remember when I was a kid, I was like a shy kid. And the only people I spoke with or felt comfortable speaking with was people who I grew up on my block. I grew up in a block. I grew up in Laurelton, Queens, Queens neighborhood, working class neighborhood. And it was about 20 homes. And I would say maybe 16 out of the 20 had kids. So it was a whole bunch of us just running around playing games. I had a wonderful childhood. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Parents drove taxi. So my mom was a yellow cab driver and my dad was a yellow cab driver. So, they worked 7 hours, 16-hour days. So my house was, their house
Right.
was the house where, there are no parents around. We had a cousin of ours who watched over us. Well, she was only a few years older than us. And so our home was like headquarters. Everybody wanted to be at our household because it was fun. There's no grown-ups. We were just kids, And so, you just kind of like, I felt comfortable with them. But if I was at school and there was a girl and I liked the girl, even if I knew she liked me, nah, I ain't saying nothing. Nope. Nope. Why? Because I felt like, if you say something wrong, you're going to look stupid. So I'd rather say nothing than say something stupid, But then you realize it's okay.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, it's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
I love that.
Yeah. And then when you realize, when you don't take yourself too seriously, I think I'm still working on that, by the way. There's certain times where I'm like, I'm wound up tight.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, it's not that serious. And then you feel free.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, freedom, right? To be just to be like, to not worry about judgment, and you just do what you feel like doing, as long as you put good intention behind it, because everything's intention. Who asked me that one day? Someone asked me one day, said, is a gun good or bad? What would you say?
Bad.
Why?
Because they are too quick to take someone's life. And I feel like if you're in a position where you need to take someone's life, I would rather some more friction between pulling the trigger and killing somebody.
Good point. Now, see, I thought about it. So you know what? It's neutral, because you need to tell me who's holding it yet.
Yeah.
The heart and the soul and spirit and the intention of the person holding it. If it's a dad who's trying to protect his family from someone who's trying to do physically harm to their family,
right?
It's protection.
Right.
It's justice. It's almost the right thing to do. Not to say take a life, but to use the gun maybe as a deterrent, not necessarily,
It's true.
let one loose. So everything is neutral until we put some intention behind it. So what are we doing?
Right?
What
are we doing?
What are we
that's
doing?
The theme. Yeah. And you know what? Like, Fritz, so what are we doing? And what are you doing? Because it's like, we're going to touch on, you saved lives. And I'm just so curious about this. Fritz, like, is this who you are all the time? Because we were talking in this room.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to tell this story for the 100th time. Sorry to make you do it again.
Good.
But it's like, we as human beings witness something going on. And most of the time we feel like, oh, someone else is going to take care of that. Someone else is going to pick up that trash. Someone else is going to call out this father for, I don't know. Any little number of things that we see going a little bit awry or worse throughout the course of our day. But you are a man who walked into a burning building and did a lot of sequence of events to save people. And so we got to hear that story. But then I'm more curious these days about like everything around it. So do you mind if you just set the stage for that, please, Fritz?
It's funny, when the situation happened, I'm trying to think what season I was in my life. It was kind of, it was a stretch where it was kind of like, I knew I needed to make some changes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm a Christian, so I have to say, even before I became a conscious Christian, someone who said, okay, that's where I landed in Christianity.
Yes.
I always believed in God. Not sure why. I mean, my mom and dad always made sure, even while I was working, they made sure I went to a Catholic church first. And I think one of my uncles had a church, and I think it was Baptist. And then I remember we even sat down 4 years as a family with Jehovah's Witness, just studying. Did that for like 4 years with the Rosenthals. Then after that was like Buddha, just checking out all different things. I was like on a journey.
Love that.
And I would just pick up different things and stuff like that. So when I say I was a time where I needed some changes to be made, just kind of like, all right, first, that was a tough financial stretch. It was like, that's that kind of stuff puts pressure on you. I lost my vehicle at the time out of stupidity. I always worked hard, but it was like when you just getting involved in business and you're like, all right, do this business thing, but you got to be disciplined in all areas, because the area that you're not disciplined might be the thing that bites you in the butt. And I got bit in the butt. So I lost the vehicle. So I was renting a Toyota Camry. And I was like, man, how'd I get here? No judgment to Toyota Camrys, but I had my little Suburban. I was an Uber, and I was like, yeah. So yeah, so I was feeling, low. But
wow,
when I'm
thanks
Ubering,
for saying that, by the way. You set the stage. It
was real. I was not in a happy place, because I was like, how'd I go from have my own business to, my own truck, and then now I'm renting a car that I don't even like. It was like I don't like what was it? Camry, but it was an old Camry. It wasn't even nice. It was like dirty. I'm like, how did I land here? What's going on? So I picked up but that morning was not a typical morning. My wife, at the time, my girls were taking swimming courses at a community center. So I'm the one with the non flexible schedule, out with a flexible schedule. Excuse me. So I took the girls swimming class. But my girls told Nikki one time, mommy, like, Papa's always there. Like, how come you ain't there? And so she's like, you know what? You're right. So she made a promise. She's going to take a day off. On a day they go swimming. So she was home that morning. So I didn't have to take them to school. So guess what I did? Make some money. So left and did one trip. And now second trip, I picked up a woman named Jemima Wade. She's from, I think, not Philippines. She's Asian. Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, Singapore. She's dope. She's like a aspiring book author. So we immediately got into great conversation. 5 minutes into the trip, we're driving down Classen Avenue in Brooklyn, and right, not been far. And so we're talking. I'm seeing people, filming. And at that time, I knew at that time, I said, man, people always filming, like, they're not even calling the police. What if somebody's hurt? They're just filming. What if somebody's fight? So I'm slowing down, like, just trying to see, like, what's going on. And then as I'm slowing down, I see debris fall from the sky. That's when I look up and I see flames shooting out the second story window of a 4-story brownstone. So I turned to my pastor. I said, can we help? And she didn't blink. She didn't blink.
See, yeah,
she said absolutely.
What? See, I feel like people in the back room might be like, no, I got some place to go. Like, no.
And if she said that would have been like, it. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm on duty. She got to catch a flight. She was going to Vermont to an authors convention. So she living her dreams. Like, she needs to catch that flight.
Yes.
But she didn't hesitate. She said absolutely. Pull over. And the first thing I thought about when I got the car was, I'm here to help, but I'm not going inside, because I made a promise to Nikki, my wife, that I wouldn't do those type of things anymore. Sometimes you do these impulsive things.
Yeah, fair enough.
I got kids, I'm like, you don't need to be doing this, So, so I had no problem get there, try to find out who, who called 911. At that moment, I think I realized some folks did come out. At that moment, I was like, wait a minute, what if somebody's upstairs on the 3rd floor sleeping, and I haven't realized there was a fire on the 2nd floor? So I immediately started shouting, because it was early in the morning. I don't think it was 8 o'clock yet. So I'm shouting, fire, fire, fire. And we all, there's some folks out there, and we all started shouting, fire, fire, come out. And some folks did come out. And then I remember someone standing next to me, and the person said, there's still somebody inside. And then,
damn,
my feet just started moving. Like it was not. It was not like a thought.
You didn't hear
was-
Nikki being like, "Don't go in there."
No, it was just like it was like it was more like no choice because
Yeah.
who's going to do it? Like no one. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
No one wants to. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
But I realized no one's going to do it, and it wouldn't be fair for me to ask anybody to do it. You do it. No, you do it. No, you do it. No, you do it. I mean, it's like who wants to, and I just ran up the staircase and ran inside, and there was a gentleman coming down the staircase, so I kind of grabbed him. So I'm shouting because if there's someone upstairs, I want my voice to be heard. I'm like, five, let's get out of here. And I grab him. He kind of like did this thing, and he was like, no. And I'm like, what's going on? And I realized he runs downstairs. Now, I don't know if I thought about it at the moment or later on. I was like, okay, he's going to grab something. He lives downstairs. And so I'm running. So I said, okay, just don't forget about him.
Mm.
So now I'm going up the staircase, and who would I see standing on top of the staircase? A woman right outside of the door, open door of the apartment that was on fire. I forgot to mention, when I was standing outside looking at the flames, I remember thinking, what did I imagine how it looked like on the inside? Like, what would it look like if I was standing inside of what I was looking at outside? And I imagine, standing here and this entire wall is on fire, and maybe the flames are probably 1, 2, 3 feet.
Mm-mm.
So in other words, it's not like the building was engulfed. It wasn't that, but it was a fire that looked like it was out of control. And all I kept thinking about is that people need to get out now because, I wasn't sure what even caused the fire.
Right.
And, so that was the clock I really was kind of like thinking, I don't think the whole building was engulfed in flames. No, I ain't going inside. No,
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Wow.
so when I went upstairs, a lot of smoke was coming out of the apartment. And I was telling her, hey, who else is here? And let's get out of here. We need to go, And she says something along the lines of, I don't know what, making a big deal out of this. It was just my AC that was on fire. There's some bullshit. I was like, oh my God.
Oh no.
I'm like, because I'm not gonna lie, it was very uncomfortable in there because I was like, what if this building blows up?
Yeah, 100%.
Because I didn't know why it was on fire in the first place. So I was like, at some point, I was like, your brain starts to think these dark thoughts, and
Yeah.
at some point, I had to like tell myself, I'm like, Lord, I kid you not, I knew exactly what I said. I remember what I
Yes.
said. I said, Lord, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to help. So, I'm not trying to be no hero. I ain't trying to get hurt. I'm trying to leave my kids fatherless. I'm just trying to help. So, if it's my time, it's my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if it's not my time,
Yeah, exactly. Then I'm gonna leave or something.
you mind looking out for your boy?
Yeah, exactly.
I was
Exactly.
like, protect me if not asking, if it's not asking too much. It was like I was afraid to ask for that. But I was like, if you don't mind looking up, and believe it or not, that's when I remember like I was still wanted to get out of there, but it gave me more courage, I guess, because I felt like God was watching over me because I was there
Yes.
for a good reason,
Yeah.
as opposed to the opposite. So that gave me some fuel. So at the end of the day, I'm negotiating with this woman, and at some point I was like, listen, I stuck in my hand like this. I said, listen, if you're not leaving, I'm not leaving. And I think that's when she put her hand on my hand. Her expression never changed. It was like, this some BS. So I think she was in shock. And also, I thought about this. I think it was her apartment, and I think she felt kind of guilty that it was her situation that was causing all of this chaos.
Yeah.
And so I think it was hard for her to accept the fact that this was happening, and it was serious. So she was kind of like, I'm not saying she was downplaying it, but it was, I'd imagine that's a pretty tough situation to have to really accept,
Absolutely.
with the whole shock.
Yeah.
But, she took my hand. That's when, so I'm walking her down the staircase, repeating the same 4 things. Don't worry about that silly AC. You're doing the right thing. Let's just get the safety. So I led her to the door, and then I went back and spoke to the other guy. I went to the staircase. I'm shouting, you still down? You still down? I'm listening. And then I think I heard a noise, and I said, bro, come on. Now I'm getting all like militant, like, come on, let's go. We got to get out. It's time to go. We got to get out of here. And then came up, grabbed him by his arm, walked to the door. By the time we got to the right outside, that's when the first police officer and the first firefighter came in. And then I kind of got out their way. It's just said something encouraging to the all the people who was in the building, like especially the woman. I feel like I had to say something to her. So I just told her, hey, you did the right thing. Looked at her. For some reason, I just wanted to evoke the word of God. I don't know why. I just had to say something. I said, listen, you did the right thing, and God bless you. And that was the last thing I said before I almost broke eye contact with her. And I remember she had a different look on her face. It was almost as if like she realized she did the right thing by kind of like, she kind of snapped out of it, And then, so now I'm running to the car. Some guy, like, hey, Uber guy. And I'm like, all right, it must be me. And it was some white dude with my keys. And he was like, yeah, man, your car was by the hydrant. I moved it for you.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
bro.
Whoa.
I was like, yo, thank you, man. I was like, yo, thank you, bro. I said, you my hero, So I run to the car, apologize to my passenger, to Jemima. And I said, sorry, let's get you to the airport. And then
Wow.
First thing I said when I got in the car was like, do I smell like smoke? I said, I can't let my wife find about this. And she just laughed. And she was like,
This is wild.
Yeah. She's like, don't worry about it. You don't smell like smoke. You saved 2 lives. And
That's crazy.
Like,
I mean, that's crazy for so many reasons. Thank you. You let a comment slip. I'm curious if you wouldn't mind saying it, where it was just like you kind of promised your wife you wouldn't do stuff like this again. So is this who you are? Just like wanting to save, wanting to help, or it's just like, are you just very brave and open to situations that are a little risky? And however you want to answer that, but how do you contextualize your identity in
I don't see myself as a brave person, to be honest. No. And I say that to say that I felt like if I saw myself as a brave person, I would do a lot of things differently.
Yeah, fair.
I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what I've seen in myself is that there are situations when you have to really dig deep. And for some reason, in those situations, I respond. I don't even flinch.
Cool.
And it throws me off guard too. I'm always like, but I'm always thinking though. It's not as if like it's happening, you're not thinking. No, I'm still thinking. I'm saying, are you crazy? Like, bro, this can go left, But it's like everything's slowing down. It's like, no, you got to do it.
So you're supposed to do this kind of stuff. I mean, yeah.
It's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to do it, but you have to do this because who else is going to do it? Yeah. If no one's doing it, somebody has to do this.
So are you doing stuff like this now? Like, what is that sort of acts of courage and bravery or helping other people look like for you today? And you know what I'm so curious about too? Yeah. Sorry, too many things are coming through my brain.
No, it's all good.
It's like, so you were in a particular moment in your life, which I really think is so beautiful for you to say, because it is in those times where you either can do a thing that has nothing to do with what your circumstances are, but then can kind of start to shift your life in a different direction.
Sure.
I'm curious if you feel like things opened up for you in a different way.
No, absolutely. It was like, I think what that situation, it didn't show me, but I would say it totally locked it in.
Locked what in? Sorry.
It locked in like some beliefs I had.
Oh,
one,
cool.
I realized everything that the way everything unfolded that morning unfolded exactly how it was supposed to unfold. I was supposed to be starting work that day. I was supposed to be right there when the situation happened, and it was supposed to be me to run inside because God knows my heart.
Yeah.
I want to help people. So I needed to be there to do something that needed to be done. And I responded, even though I didn't want to respond. But I realized, well, bro, sorry, you're going in. Tough. Yeah. You got to do it. And so there's no accidents,
Yes.
I thought, funny thing is when you reached out, when your producer reached out to me, Gabrielle, to do the show, I thought we met. So I thought, it must be somebody who I met. I remember a passenger, we spoke, and I remember her mentioning a podcast.
Cool.
And then it was like, oh, sure, if they invite, it sounds, I'm open to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you forgot about it,
Yes.
And then when I got the invitation, it was like, oh wow, like, okay.
How cool.
I'm supposed to do this,
Yeah.
So it was like, nah, you gotta do this. Why? Because why would it be presented to me if not for me to do? So
Mm-hmm.
on faith is like, just go.
I
Let's
love it.
just go out there and just have fun, enjoy it. Let's see what this experience does for you, for anybody, for everybody. So if I could say anything that is encouraging to people, all I'm going to say is like, you know, we need to get back to a sense of community. And all that really means is, to me, is like, you know, if you believe in God or not, understand that, who we really are as spirit, in an avatar, in a body. And, because, I'm an old dude. So, I could be a spiritual dad, or even my spiritual
I don't think so.
oldest daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
But, the point is like, so I try
Yeah.
to talk to people like they're my spiritual brothers and sisters. This way it's like you pierce through the armor. I was never talking to you. I was talking to your spirit. Whoever, to who you really are. And I try my best to consistently be like that.
Yeah.
Even that's kind of hard.
It is.
Sometimes you get out of that and then you're in your ego and your pride.
Absolutely.
And whenever you're in your ego and pride, oh man, it's not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Okay. So I agree with you 100%. And yeah. So I was going to ask, what's your kind of call for humanity? What's your call for us? And it is like, get back to the community, get back to like the essence of who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just I think everybody wants to be seen and heard, and everybody wants to feel like someone cares about them, like someone loves them. And it's important. Like, I mean, to walk through our life and feel like you're not seen or heard or loved, that's
Swag.
That's a tough one.
It is, yeah.
I don't even want to see the version of that person, But so I think it's, you don't lose nothing by showing love. You don't lose nothing by saluting somebody, saying something encouraging, build people up with the words. You don't lose nothing. I don't think you lose anything. And I think sometimes it actually throws people off because they don't expect it. So, I think if you do this, because you never know what people are going through, if you do this, it might do something big for somebody, but at the end of the day, it's not a big deal when you're doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Do you have deep conversations with your passengers?
All the time.
What if someone doesn't want to talk?
No.
Are you offended?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because again, my parents were cab drivers. So, I've been driving yellow taxi even before I started driving Uber. So I was only not driving for maybe 10 years, because I was an x-ray tech for about 10, 12 years. And so I already know that that's people's downtime. Like, that's their piece.
Fair enough.
So it's like, all I do is, when they come in the car, you welcome them, make them feel appreciated. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Happy Monday, Tuesday. Say something corny.
Yeah.
But you just want to know, like, hey, it's like, hey, it's not serious. You're welcome. This is your vehicle now. This is your ride. So, I'm serving them. If no one's in that back seat, I can't pay my rent. So I appreciate who's back there. Seriously. And if I ever get that twisted, I'm playing myself.
Right.
I'm playing myself, because that's how it works. I need to have clients in that car for me to go take care of my family. So I appreciate whoever's back there. Another thing too is, whoever's back there is back there for a reason. Like I said, there's no accidents. So I always just try to pay attention, make sure I say something encouraging, or make sure I'm listening to them. I've got the best parenting advice. I've had so many good things being told to me from people who I've never met before. Don't know.
Oh, interesting.
There's no accidents. Like, I always know or feel that when I'm driving, the people who are in the car we're supposed to cross paths. So I just want to make sure that when I cross paths with somebody, it was all good. It was all love, because they say sometimes, you may have not know what I spoke about, but you'll never forget how you felt when you met somebody, you know? So, if I can make sure that at the end of the day, you generally, sincerely care for somebody's success and well-being, then at least you got something right.
I know, and I really like what you were saying about like appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's helpful for me too. Thinking, you have a business, you're running this business, and the people in your back seat are supporting your livelihood. So
Yeah.
thanks for being there, basically. So if they're quiet, if they want to talk, like whatever, they're part of your business,
Oh,
your
no, absolutely.
livelihood.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah.
And to be honest, that was like, I've done a lot of different schooling. My best education was actually driving, because on any given day, I'm meeting about 30 random people from all backgrounds,
True.
cultures.
Cool.
It's like I've met every type of person. And so that type of exposure, that type of exchange, I got about 1,000 people in me.
Yeah, exactly.
The best of people. And hopefully I got a chance to, to give back, and I think I have.
Of course.
I think I
Yeah.
have. Because again, that's the intention. So,
Right.
So yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. I mean, I find that one day of your life inspiring, but I also find how you're living it and growing in it super inspiring and really cool too.
I mean,
honestly.
my daughter yesterday was like, I told her I was going to be on a podcast there. She's like, Papa, at school, you're a celebrity. And I'm like, celebrity? I'm not a celebrity at school, Kaylee. And she was like, oh no, because people in my school, they know. I said, how they found out about it? I think somebody must have seen it on the news, and once one person knew,
Aw.
everybody knows. Papa, don't you like being? I think it's cool that you're a celebrity. I said,
No.
Kaylee, I'm not a celebrity. She was, Papa, don't you want to be a celebrity? And I was like, not really. I said, to be honest, let's say if I was a celebrity, how I would want it to be be honest, if in a span of 24 hours pass by, and let's say one person says, hey, I seen whatever, good stuff, I'm good.
Yeah, stop.
Because, I'm not gonna act as if like someone giving you positive recognition is not something, because who knows, at that moment, that might be something I need to
Absolutely.
encourage myself.
Yes.
So, but other than that, I want to be regular. I want to walk around my kids and be like, I could like, do something,
whatever.
do whatever. No one's
Yes.
like, just sitting there like, oh,
trolling you.
Yeah,
But you're right. Back to like, you want to be seen. You want to be seen, and you want to be appreciated. I know, 100%. Same.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was happy she thought that.
I know. I was gonna ask him what your kids think about you.
Yeah, I think she was digging it. She was like, I think she liked the fact. I think it's cool, Papa. And I was like, you know what? If you're happy, then that's good.
Oh my!
That makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? These kids, I'm not gonna lie. When a situation happened, again, I was trying to downplay it, but then she does a daily blog, so it was her blog that CC'd Uber. The Uber CEO called me. I ended up being Uber driver of the year. I was on CNN twice. I did like 3 different podcasts. I did magazines. It was like
that's so
I was
crazy.
on the Jennifer Hudson show.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Is this fun?
No, yes. It was.
Right?
No,
That's kinda cool.
Because it's something good.
Yeah.
It's because we're talking about something good, and to me, I think what made me not want to be, kind of like hung up about it was when somebody said that, nah, it's a good New York story. At the time, coming out of COVID, I was like, you know what? Yeah, we do need a feel good story. So let me not get too hung up on all this stuff.
I got to think about what this inspires me to do, because you're right. I'll get mad at my husband sometimes if he he'll see a fight, maybe like a teenager fight or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't get involved with that. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen. But I'm trying to not be a full bystander. I'm trying to not just watch. So I'm just finding little small moments. And you know what? You're right. Where it's like the moment will present itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're called to do something, just don't ignore it. Because a lot of times we're like, I could do something. I'm not going to, It's
tough. And the you know what, I'll tell you what scares me. What I'm saying is what I believe. Right? I mean, I'll tell this to my own children. I said, Kaylee, care for yourself, love yourself, but love other people. Be respectful, respect yourself, respect other people. Don't be doing wacky stuff. Be a kid. Please be a kid. Matter of fact, yeah, please be a kid.
Mm-hmm.
She's 12 now. I'm like, oh man, But I think you'll know what the right thing to do is.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think we know.
We just do know. I think
it's just
so
that
too.
we get scared because things could go left. We hear stories all the time. Things going left. So I get it. For me, again, what helps me is that, again, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And I feel as if like, as long as I'm doing the right thing for me, I'm only speaking for me,
Absolutely.
that I feel like God has my back. And
Yeah.
if it goes left anyway, that was my time.
Yeah.
I don't know when my demise is going to be.
Right.
I don't know how it's going to go down. But one guy threatened me, Uber ride, this drunk guy, one time I got in, and it was all good. And he thought I was taking a long route. So his cousin was the one who paid for the Uber. He just got out of jail, locked up for like 12 years. And he never been in an Uber before. So he wasn't sure how it works. So he said, hey man, how this thing works? I said, oh nah, your cousin pays for it by card and whatever. He goes, I give you no money? I said, nah, it's already paid for. You good. He goes, can I get $5? And I was like, I said, no, I ain't got $5. He goes, oh, okay. So after the third time, I said, bro, why you keep asking for $5? I said, if I had $5, bro, I would have gave it to you. Like, seriously, if I had $5 in my pocket, I would have gave it to you. I ain't tripping. Like, I don't care. Here's $5, right? But, like, I don't have $5. So can you please not ask me for $5 again? So but in the ride, when he thought, because the road was closed, so I had to go the other way. So I said, hey man, the road's closed, so I'm going this way. So I want you to see that, right? But I guess he didn't hear me, or I guess he was drunk and didn't realize it. So one point he's like, hey man, he was like, yo, you trying to kidnap me or something? And I was like, bro, well, I said, listen, I want to kidnap somebody. I said, I'm not trying to kidnap you. If I'm gonna hang out with somebody, I'd rather hang out with my kids. And he said, F your kids. Oh, when I said I got tight,
man,
it was all good. I mean, everything was good. And then when he said that,
man,
inside I was like,
yeah, exactly.
And so I think I did this. I said, okay, I just want like that. I said, don't say nothing, because if I say something now, and then I don't know, at some point, he felt like compelled to threaten me. He leans towards me. He goes, man, don't you know I can kill you? He puts his hand right here. And I kid you not, without hesitation, I remember I was like, okay, all right, so you kill me. Like, if it's my time, it's my time, bro. Like, what? What's the problem? And I said, another thing, if it's you who end up doing it, it ain't even you.
Yeah.
It's my time.
Yeah.
God's using you because it's my time. Damn. So it ain't you. It's not you.
Yeah. And
I remember he kind of just looked, sat back on his seat and just started laughing. Because I think he wanted to scare me.
Yeah.
But he realized, afraid of what?
Yeah, scared of what? Yeah.
What are we talking about? Dying? Like, do I want to die? No.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in dying. Matter of fact, I'm having a smoothie when I leave. All right. Okay. Yeah. But my point is, we all gotta go.
Yeah.
So I've come to terms with that already. That, hey, when it's your time, it's your time. But my goal is to live 100 years old and have a quality. Still be have all my senses, whatever. Have my energy, my vigor. My great grandkids say, great grandpa, come on, let's play some basketball. I'm gonna look him dead in the face and say, bro, I got 82 years experience. Yeah, exactly. Ain't no way you winning this game. So let's go. So it's about,
I love it.
Yeah, I want to live with intention. I plan to be around here for a long time.
Wow.
Until God says, no, son, it's today.
Woo! Mic drop on that, Fritz. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for chatting.
I love your spot. This is cool.
Amazing.
Brooklyn.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thanks, Fritz.
Same here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.